Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the paper talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford as usual, and it's actually, the sun's shining. I've not even got my parker on today. That's how warm it is. Now, the first bit of news coming out of the papers is about Paul Pogba. We've not had a Paul Pogba story for a little while. It's almost unnerving. Mino Raiola, his agent, has made a rare done a rare interview. He doesn't like to talk to the press very often, does he? No. But he said, speaking to Sky, United will not accept any bid this summer, regarding Paul Pogba, of course. We're going to speak about a new contract soon, no stress. He is a key player for Man United. They have an important project and he's 100% included. So it sounds like Paul Pogba could be on the verge of signing a new deal for Manchester United, which is something we all want to see. The Paul Pogba saga has been going on for years. It went on before he left for Juventus, when he came back into a couple of years into it, when he fell out with Jose Mourinho. It all became a bit of a drama, and then we heard him, of course, a couple of summers ago, or previous summer, saying that he wanted a new challenge. However, he got injured, he came back into the team, he played his part in getting United into the top three, and it looks like he's happy with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's happy to be at the club and he wants to stay. Now, some people can argue that he's staying because United haven't had a concrete offer for him, because the likes of Real Madrid and Juventus aren't coming in with the 100 million pounds it would take to get Paul Pogba to leave this club. But the fact is, he is staying and he sounds happy and he's playing the way we want him to play. He's been a big part of United over the last few months. So he says he's happy, or his agent, sorry, saying that he wants to stay, and hopefully we can get him signed on a long-term deal. He's 27, he's just approaching his peak, and if we can get the best out of Paul Pogba, it can be an integral part of this club and hopefully bring some success to Manchester United. Now, the big story, obviously, over the weekend was Harry Maguire. Sure, I don't need to tell you that he got arrested over the week, well, last week on Thursday night, early Friday morning, I think it was, for some sort of altercation in Greece while he was on holiday. Now, he's flown back to the UK and he's got a court appearance on Tuesday. Now, he may not have to, I don't think he has to be in court for that. His lawyer can represent him. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Now, new stories and sort of new sides to what happened are emerging in the press. At first, it seemed that it was just sort of an argument with some fans. Then it seemed it was an argument with the police. There was sort of violence involved. It's been labelled a brawl. And now, the latest update is that Harry Maguire actually might have been defending his sister. There was reports that his sister was stabbed in the arm by, I think it's the Daily Mail, so you can take that with a pinch of salt if you want, saying that it was his sister was stabbed by an Albanian gangster and that he stuck up for her. Now, it's all taken a bizarre turn, this, and we just want to see Harry Maguire playing for Manchester United without all this sort of drama going on behind the scenes or going on hanging over him. We'll have to wait and see whether he does get convicted, what happens, the full ins and outs of it all. But the latest reports are that he was sticking up for his sister, and no matter what you think, if it's your little sister and she is getting attacked, she's getting stabbed, if that is the case, then you're going to stick up for him. A lot of people are angry with him and upset what he's done, but personally, I'd be a bit more disappointed if the Manchester United captain didn't stick up for his sister, especially if she's been stabbed. So we'll wait and see what happens with that one. But he's in court, or his representative will be in court on Tuesday. So we'll see what the developments are, whether the charges get carried on, whether they get dropped, whatever happens. Gareth Southgate names his England squad as well on Tuesday, I think. So there's reports saying, is Harry Maguire going to be in the England squad, or will Gareth Southgate sort of take the stance of I can't include him because of what's going on? I'm not overly fussed about Harry Maguire in England. I'm more concerned about what happens for him with Manchester United, and hopefully this can all be put to bed. He won't get convicted and we can all move on and have him playing football for the club, which is what he's paid to do. Another sort of story doing the rounds, you may have noticed last night that Bayern Munich, of course, beat PSG in the Champions League final, winning 1-0 thanks to a Kingsley Coman goal. Now, Kingsley Coman has been sort of reported or rumoured to be linked with Manchester United. He was seen as something of a Jadon Sancho, I'll get to him a little bit later on, a Jadon Sancho alternative. I think it was Andy Mitten who said that Kingsley Coman was on Manchester United's radar, not in the sense that United had made a bid or that they'd approached the club or his agent or anything like that, just that he was on a sort of a short list and he was seen as a viable alternative perhaps to Jadon Sancho. Other people have reported it as well. A few other papers are reporting it, and it's been reported this morning that, is he a United target, and that the Bayern Munich boss Hansi Flick has been praising him. Obviously, he got the winner, nothing better than scoring a winner for a player in the Champions League final. Some people thought he may not even start. He has been in and out of the team, but he started. It was Ivan Perisic who made way. Kingsley Coman starting and then getting that winner. And Flick said that, perhaps he's finally, Coman steps out of Frank Ribery and Ian Robins' shadow this season. Kingsley has incredible talent, and he showed tonight that he can also score goals. He also goes on to say, I've not set a deadline for when the party has to stop. Bayern Munich players obviously partying. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Kingsley Coman, whether that interest is concrete, whether United do start turning their attention elsewhere. Because as we know with Jadon Sancho, the Jadon Sancho sort of linked to United, it seems to have all gone a little bit flat. We spoke last week to a Dortmund reporter, someone who covers reporter for the reputable German outlet Sports 1. We spoke to Patrick Berger, the journalist, not the ex-Liverpool player, and he said that Dortmund weren't going to sell Jadon Sancho this summer, that he felt the deal was dead. He said that Dortmund were digging their heels in, Manchester United had left it too late, they hadn't come up with the money that Dortmund wanted, and that deal, he didn't expect it to happen. And there is sort of one little twist here, or not a twist, but one thing to remember is that Dortmund are a proud club, and seeing Bayern Munich lift the Champions League it's going to hurt them a little bit, and that may well add to sort of Dortmund's resolve of, listen, we're not going to weaken our team, we're not going to sell anyone, we're not going to let Jadon Sancho go this summer, we'll keep hold of him and sell him next summer, because as we know, he has got a deal to 2023, so there's every chance that Jadon Sancho could stay for one more year and then get sold next summer, and that looks like what's going to happen now. Most of the journalists are reporting that they don't expect the Jadon Sancho deal to be done this summer, which means Manchester United are going to have to turn their attention elsewhere, because if you're not going to get Jadon Sancho, we need to get someone. We need to bring someone in, because other teams are strengthening. We've seen Chelsea have gone on a bit of a spending spree. Manchester City have strengthened. Arsenal, you know, we laugh at Arsenal all the time, but they've got Willian, they've got Gabriel Magalhaes, a player who was briefly linked to Manchester United, although again, I don't think the interest was too real. So they're strengthening, and Manchester United are sort of the only ones who haven't. Now, one player we have been linked with, again, maybe as an alternative to Jadon Sancho, is Juventus' Douglas Costa. And there's reports that we could be making a bid for him. We could be ready to make a £27 million bid for the Juventus winger. He's a Brazilian, of course. I think he's 29 years old, so he's a little bit, well, he's a lot older than Jadon Sancho. But he's being viewed, along with Kingsley Coman, as perhaps an alternative to Jadon Sancho, because time's not running out, in the sense that, you know, we have got a couple more months left of the transfer window, but time's running out in terms of when the season starts. So if United do want to get someone in for the start of the season, I don't know if that's going to be the case, then we're going to have to start getting our act together and acting soon. So Douglas Costa from Juventus could be an option, as well as Kingsley Coman. We'll have to wait and see what happens with either of those two transfers. Are United going to make any sort of offers? At the moment, it's pure speculation, and there's been no concrete offers. Now, another Jadon Sancho alternative, coming into the Jadon Sancho alternative show, was David Brooks. This rumour came out last week that apparently David Brooks was on United's radar. The Bournemouth winger was being viewed as a possible, maybe not an alternative to Jadon Sancho. Maybe I'm being a little bit flippant there, because David Brooks, you're not going to get David Brooks instead of Jadon Sancho. I think David Brooks comes in, he'd be something of a squad player. He's a young player that did well at Bournemouth, had his injury problems, but apparently he's on United's radar. He was linked with a £40 million move. Reports this morning that Bournemouth wouldn't stand in his way if that happened. We spoke to Peter Rutzler from The Athletic last week, who covers Bournemouth, and he said that while he thinks David Brooks could come here and do a good job, he's a confident player and he's got bags of ability. He says he'd be probably more of a squad player. He doesn't see that deal happening. He doesn't think that there is any concrete interest. So it's one to file under doubtful. Keep your eye on it, and as always, we'll keep you updated and let you know if anything happens and that. If United do go in with an offer, there's nothing wrong with signing David Brooks as long as he comes with other players. If we sign David Brooks instead of Jadon Sancho, I think most United fans will be extremely disappointed and deflated with that. So that's been the latest paper talk. Not too much to report, but it is good news in the sense that it looks like Paul Pogba is committed to Manchester United. We'll have to wait and see what happens with Harry Maguire, and Jadon Sancho looking even more doubtful by the day. As you can see, the sun's starting to shine, the wind's blowing, it's all sunshine and rainbows here, well, without the rainbows, here outside Old Trafford. I've been Jay, this has been the Paper Talk. Don't forget to stay tuned to Stretford Paddock. We'll have Howson's Brew a little bit later on. We'll also have all the latest updates and news every day here outside Old Trafford, keeping you posted on all things happening with the transfers, with the updates. As always, don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks for watching.